Hello everyone, Michael Anfield here, and thank you for joining me. I just want to show you this place that I am at, and I've been here for many months, and it's a great place. I'm going to miss it. I'm going back to Canada for a few months, and then coming back here and living in the jungle, in a land that is like paradise. So, thanks everyone for joining me. This is just a short live video. So ask me anything that you like, really just anything. This is amazing place. I love it here. And there are hammocks, and there are laundry, and there are beautiful trees, and there are buildings. This is Costa Rica. People are busy doing things. Some people are out at the moment as well. Andrea Robbins, thank you for joining me. And everyone else, thank you for joining me. I'm just going to be on here for a little bit as I have to head on out shortly. But everything is going amazing here. I love living in the tropics. And just being in this amazing place that I call home. Actually, everywhere is home because we're on this beautiful earth. So, what is new with myself? I've released a book, as most of you know, Return to the Gentle Sea for the Love That Lives in Everyone. And it's, let's see, on camera. Okay. I'm kind of new to this, and Facebook was saying bring them on camera. I was like, bring who on camera? So that actually lets you bring on the person that is typing on camera, which is cool. So I like that. Otherwise, I'm doing good. Hope all of you are doing great. Just a little friendly chat and get to know what's new with me. So anyways, I wrote the book, Return to the Gentle Sea, for the love that lives in everyone. And it's really about why we shouldn't be seeing other animals as property, and how we should see instead love in everyone and nature. So Yogi has said, where are you now? And I'm in Costa Rica. And where exactly in Costa Rica? Close to Cahuita. So on the east side. So I love Costa Rica, even though it's not the cheapest country to live in, but it's not the most expensive either. And I just find that, I love it everywhere. I mean, I've been to Belize. I loved it there as well. Costa Rica, I love it. Canada, I love it too, but in the winter not so much because I don't enjoy the cold. And I can definitely say that I'm just going there to work, so I can only say that everywhere is beautiful, and wherever you live in the world, You just have to be happy where you're at. So if you're not happy, then no place will make you happy. I mean, yeah, I guess sunshine makes people more happy, but maybe just temporarily. So you got to be happy inside. That's the whole key. That's my friend's tent up there that she sleeps in during the night. And a lot of things that I find like really, really, really exciting about living in the tropics. Not just the warm weather, the abundance of tropical fruit, the fact that people are just generally more happy in places like these. And I find there's a lot of beauty when you're in nature. Just a lot of beauty, but you can't grow all your food all year round in colder climates, especially tropical fruit. And it's not like warm all year round, and so you're not getting the proper nutrients you need from the sun. So that's other things that reason why. So I'm in Costa Rica, close to Cahuita, in a small place, and I love it here. Going back to Canada, there's some little bit of work there for a few months, and then to see my family, of course, my mom, and then I just come back here, basically. So there's a place I'm at right now. It's called Pura Fruta. So Pura Fruta, which means pure fruit, and I'm right here. I seem to enjoy the company of the people. People are beautiful, share a lot of the same values, and we really do get along, and we want to be self-sustainable and live on land, grow all our food, all this stuff. So this is where I am. It's purefruta.org. Website eventually will be revamped this year sometime. So it's a beautiful thing. And so what do I do? Annie Rogers is telling me, what do I do here? I basically just sit and meditate all day. No. Basically, I write books, and I have written 6 books, released, self-published them, and released them through Amazon and other platforms on basically why we shouldn't be using other animals, seeing them as property, and how that will create eventually the world we really want to live in, the peaceful world. And so I'm promoting that, but also trying to get this community up and running, and as well just being here. Like what we're basically doing is just going to the land and start growing as much food as possible, building some some shelters over there and some buildings, and just living as primitively as we can. But also we're going to be installing energy efficient electricity and water and so forth, as best as we can, to not harm the earth, or at least minimize the harm on the earth, and show people that another way of living is possible. And I want to thank everyone for joining me today. So also, I'm trying to get away from using and relying on corporations, supermarkets, governments, etc. And of course, in the beginning of our journey, it's hard, because we may need to use these corporations and supermarkets and banks and things. So it's doing our best and trying to strive to walk away slowly from our culture. Annie Rogers is asking me, is there any everything there native? And I haven't really been here long enough to really know if anything is really native or not. A lot of the food that there is here that's growing now, so-called natively, it originally comes from either Africa or Asia. Like ackee comes from Africa. In Asia, there's a lot of the fruits that are grown here. So really, if you think about it, there's not much native to this region. The only thing I probably is hot peppers, and a lot of hot peppers originated from Central and South America. So. Invasive species, I'm not sure. There may be, just like everywhere. I'm not sure. Yogi Edwin says, where can I send you love offering donation? I actually don't, I really don't want donations. If somebody really wants to donate to me, then yes, go ahead. It's on my website, weareinterconnected.com. And from there, you just go to About section and you can actually donate. But I really recommend going to Amazon through my website, weareinterconnected.com, and just getting my books. And this is the key. If you already have read my books or you understand the messages in my books, just get them for people, for birthdays or special holidays, whatever. Just get them for people, because really it's about sharing the message. And then, of course, I get a little donation out of the books. So medical options, I don't really care. I trust nature as for my medicine and for my natural healing. So when I really am like sick, like severely sick, I know that I have to like not eat much, like either fast or eat very little, and eat the foods that nature intended us to eat, which is fruit. So fruit is number one. If somebody is really sick, like on the last stages of living, fasting is good. And also greens. So if you're juicing greens in the beginning, that's good. And then transition to eating fruit, because I think fruit is like the best thing. Now there's varying opinions on what is the best foods, and I have so many videos on that. And I guess it also depends on what you really feel within you. So I feel that fruit is the best. Some people might feel sprouts are the best. Some people might think wheatgrass is the best. Some people might think this is the best or that is the best. So it really depends. But medical options, just like everywhere, decent medical options. So again, going back to the donation, if you really want to donate something, okay, because this is really something that I need, basically, is food. Everybody needs food to survive. So the one thing that helps me get food is, of course, send food if possible. Or secondly, just get my books, share the message with people, and of course understand these ideas yourself, and then eventually put them into practice, and then just share the message with other people. That's it. And then the money that comes from that, I buy food so I can survive to spread this message even further. And another thing to help is if you can organize any kind of events in your area. Unfortunately, at the moment, I can't enter the U.S. because of, it's a long story, but I cannot enter in the U.S. So wherever you are else in the world, if you can organize an event, all I require is like some kind of accommodations, food, and transportation cost. That's it. I don't require any payment or anything like that. And I will sign my books. I will offer them to people. The rest of the money goes directly in sharing the message and the ability, of course, for me to survive eating foods. So my expenses are like very, very little. So I put a lot of money, or majority of my money, I should say, into either surviving, eating, living, and uh, just sharing the message, basically. So, for example, I bought a lot of books for events and for people, and a lot of times I just give them out for free because I want to really share this message to everyone. So that's it. And I don't know how much time I have left because I have to get going shortly. In about, yeah, well, I got some time actually. So I'm here. I have some time. I was gonna go to the town here and run a few errands and stuff. So anything that people want to know or just chatting or whatever. So any other questions or anything? So what is my vision? My vision is utopia, is what my vision is. And I guess everybody's vision is utopia. Can we get there in our lifetime? I don't know. I don't think so. But maybe we can at least strive for that. So let's align our values in our life and our buying choices that synchronize with this utopia society that we all want to live in. Thank you, Yogi. You are beautiful. About to buy your book now. Thank you so much, Yogi. I think my latest book, Return to the Gentle Sea for the Love That Lives in Everyone, is like one of my greatest books. The more books I write, like it just keeps getting better and better. And I write from the heart, which is really what I like to do. I write from the heart. I try to plant seeds of love within everyone. Try to reawaken them to that love. And that's basically what I do. I share light. I help people spark their light or to find their light. So thank you, Yogi Edwin, for that. Also, for people that do get my book or books, if you don't mind, please do write an Amazon review, because Amazon reviews are very important so that books like my own as well as other people's books get found on Amazon. So the way that books are found is through, of course, keyword search, through their description and everything, but also the more reviews are added to Amazon. So that's a really great way for my books to be discovered. So my book, The Lost Love, actually has 15 reviews, and you probably need at least 100 or thousands in order to be really discovered. And so if you can get I appreciate it if you can get like multiple copies and like hand them out, give them out to people for birthdays or for special holidays or things like that. That would be much appreciated, because that's really, it's just a message that I want to share with people. And I share it through YouTube and I share it through other means. And the last couple of years, like I remember, I tell you a story, and I know people love stories. So for the for the first few years I went vegan, I was organizing many different events, and I did organize a lot of events. The biggest event that I did was an outdoor video educational display where I had a big screen TV, and I was basically showing undercover footage of in slaughterhouses and things. And we had tens of thousands of people like walking back and forth, like we had basically passerbys watching these footage, and that was a great turnout, and that lasted for several hours. Then I did the Toronto Vegan Expo, which originally was called Toronto Animal Rights and Vegan Expo. And we got the second year, we had almost 2,000 people coming and going. So that was a really big event as well. One of the first events that I know I did was one against seal slaughter, Canadian seal slaughter, and that brought out 30 volunteers. And that was my first big event that I organized. And then I did smaller events here and there with a few people coming out. And so that is what happened. Like the first few years, I went vegan because I thought, yeah, the message needs to be spread to everyone, and so I have to share it. And I did that through demonstrations, protests, things like that. And now I do it through my books and videos, all that. But I've noticed I focus now more and more on trying to heal myself, because I think inner healing, inner work, inner personal transformation is really important. And so that is what I now work on, is a lot with my inner soul, inner intuition. So I cultivate my intuition, and I do less videos, but continuing to write, continuing to do videos, continuing to do all these things, but working more on myself, because the more that you work on yourself, the more that you're able to help others. And so I'm focusing a lot of my time on myself, and I think I really do need it after all these years. Though, of course, vegan advocacy work is very important as well. So I did recently 2 talks in Costa Rica, and I did one at the Love Festival in Puerto Viejo, another one in Puerto Viejo. I did a few talks there to a bunch of people at Rocking Jay's Hostel in Puerto Viejo at Manifest. So that was really a great event that took place 4 days. And so there's some things that I'm doing here and there. But if anyone would like to have me on for their podcast or webinar, or for a speaking engagement or interview or something, let me know, because I'm always available. I will take whatever time off necessary to do just that. And again, if you do have me for a speaking engagement, if it's in person or if it's online or something like that, all I require is transportation cost to be covered, and food and accommodations to be covered as well. I don't care at all about getting paid. All I care about is the message, sharing the message to other people. And I can continue doing that when I sign my books, sell my books to people. I can definitely continue sharing the message. So this is, what time is it now? 1:28. Yeah, I think I got about 10 minutes left. So if anybody wants to say anything, talk about anything, I'm just checking out. Again, I think it's important. People like myself, Will Tuttle, Casey Taft, Mango Wadzak, I don't know, all the other people out there that are spreading message of love and compassion for all life, that are actually promoting a vegan way of living. It's really beneficial to get the message out. And everyone has their own unique way of spreading this message, of sharing it. And I think the one way to do that is through our stories. And stories is a really powerful and positive way to get the message out. So keep on sharing your message of how you went vegan. Keep on sharing your message of this life, this one life that we want to create, which is our individual lives, but also collectively, everyone on this earth. And so we have to share that message, the life that we want to live. And we want to live in utopia, in the Garden of Eden. Let's get there. Let's at least strive to get there. And yeah, I got about 10 minutes left, and then we can, I'm on my last battery life, so I might cut out at any moment. But we're all on a journey in life, and let's see. We have a question here, but I want to just finish the thought that I had. So we're all on a journey in life, and no matter what, that particular journey, that specific journey that you're on, just take it slowly, but also understand that when we're eating, tortured animals, and we're eating their secretions of these tortured beings, that the faster we get away from eating these beings, the faster we incorporate all the animals, all of nature into our sphere of compassion, and we start sharing that message with others, the faster we're going to get to creating this world that we want to, this paradise world. So Yogi was saying, would you in the future host a retreat in Costa Rica? I would go. And the thing is, Pure Fruta is thinking about hosting retreats. And so maybe a detox retreat, maybe some kind of touring retreat on our land. So there's possibilities, but we first have to get some structures up and made, because there's no structures at all made on the land. We're right now in a rental place that we're closing down in September. So anyways, if anybody wants to rent this place, you can do so. You can rent it out. Just either contact me or contact Pura Fruta Tribe, TRIBE, @gmail.com. And we're looking for people to rent it out, but also primary renter that can rent this whole place and pay for it. And it's pretty inexpensive. So contact me if you're really serious. There's two big cabanas here, one behind me, and there's other small rooms around. So if you really want to live in Costa Rica, but don't forget, like this period of time, it's rainy season, so it rains for at least a few months. Like now it's not raining, but for majority of the days it rains, and for the rest of the months it does rain, but not often. So thank you all for joining me here today. Again, I'm going to be on for about 7 minutes longer, and then I'm going to close this session. So again, thank you. So Yogi Edwin was saying, would you in the future host a retreat in Costa Rica? And the thing is, me personally, I don't know, but Pure Fruta is thinking, like, as a community, as a gathering. Yeah, we probably would, but we don't know when that would happen, because again, we don't have the buildings on there, and we don't have enough food growing to sufficiently be fully self-sustainable. So we need that, and we need also electricity and water and all these things. So that is a challenge, and we're just basically waiting until our food forest is sufficiently providing us with all that we need, and then we can start slowly we can start to offer these retreats and things. So I think not until at least a few years time that some will be getting some food from the land. So there's already a few trees that are producing something, but it's not enough. We're probably producing like 5% of our food, if that. So that's unfortunate, but they just bought the land, I think it was like last year or a year and a half ago. So even though Pure Fruta technically has been around for 7 years, Palm Vincent had the idea for about 7 years. This is my first gathering that I'm coming to this place. So next year I'll be here for sure in September. I don't know if I'll be staying indefinitely, but for sure. So let's see, how much land are you on? So this rental place right here is 0.3 hectares, not acres, but hectares, which is I think 4,800 meters square, I believe. And the other property, which I don't really like to call a property, it's earth, so nobody owns that, but we basically are stewards of the land. Even though technically we kind of do own it, or legally we do own it. On that land, there's I think 13 hectares of land. In Costa Rica, you can grow all your food year round, and you don't need a greenhouse. So greenhouses are not required. You can have a greenhouse for things like vegetables, like greens, herbs. So that is something that you can do, possibly. But otherwise, you do not need a greenhouse because people grow food all year round here. It's a tropical climate. It's in Central America. It's Costa Rica. Costa Rica. So technically, if you are in the north somewhere where you have 2 seasons or 3 seasons or 4 seasons, actually no, not 2 seasons, but 3 or 4 seasons, then you could technically grow food all year round, but I wouldn't really recommend it. If somebody's really wants to grow food all year round, wants to live in a perfect climate, wants to just be overall healthier, and where there's sun majority of the time, and you're getting the required nutrients from the sun, like vitamin D, for example, and so many other things. I stay in the sun as much as I possibly can. I don't use anything on my skin. I eat mostly fruit primarily as my diet, or in my diet, and that's it basically. I just take care of my body. I eat only what nature provides, and I'm even doing less and less of things like juicing and smoothies and things like that. But there are, of course, times when we're not perfect, and we have to make exceptions. So just do the best that we can, and that's all you can do. So anything else? Before I start closing up in 2 minutes. I want to thank everyone for being on this call. Again, don't hesitate to get my book, my new one, which is Return to the Gentle Sea for the Love That Lives in Everyone. And that is an 82-page book, both available as an ebook, Kindle, and a paperback on Amazon. And eventually it will be available worldwide, and worldwide in different platforms and different websites and different stores, as well as an audiobook. So hopefully this year I want to get it out as an audiobook. So I'm manifesting things and trying to see if there's a way to do this, because I am currently living a very minimal lifestyle. So I have like very minimal things. I have like one big 55-liter backpack, and that's all I have. And so I'm trying to live as minimally as I possibly can. And so I'm looking if I can actually buy, as I had a lot of things stolen from me from police, most likely from the police. I have to buy again the recording equipment, and that's approximately 500 or 600 Canadian dollars that I'm going to have to be spending, and to do like recordings and things that I really want to do, and that's like the decent recording equipment for the least amount of price, basically. So basically, you can have a whole studio under $600, 500 or 600, which is pretty decent. I mean, yes, you can definitely do something on a $100 budget or $50 budget, but for a decent system, it's about 500-600, and so that is why it's really key. And even though I don't like buying things, and I want to kind of minimize my purchasing power, I want to do these things. I want to be able to release like audiobooks, and I want to be able to release all these things and do all these things that I would like to, while also being a minimalist. So the whole gear is like pretty small. It's like a size of a big laptop probably. So that's it, everyone. You can replay this video if you haven't seen it from the beginning. Not much, just a few little updates on this video and things like that. I have to close it down now because my battery is going dead almost. Plus I gotta head out. So take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.